We've been looking at multiplying with polynomials. So the last one is what happens if we have either, we just have a polynomial times a polynomial, and maybe that's a binomial times a trinomial, or a trinomial times a trinomial, or 4 terms times 4 terms. It doesn't matter. The examples I'm going to show you are going to be binomials and trinomials, but the methods that I use in these examples will carry over even if there were more terms. It's just that it gets really long. So for time purposes, I'm going to keep it down to a binomial times a trinomial. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute all my terms from one polynomial into the other. I think it's easier to distribute the smaller into the larger, but it doesn't matter. I'll combine like terms and I'll put it in standard form. So let's go ahead and jump to the first example. So I'm going to go ahead and say I have an x minus 7 times an x cubed minus 2x plus 8. So I'm going to take my x from my x minus 7 and I'm going to distribute it to all terms in that trinomial. So x times x cubed is x to the 4th. X times minus 2x is minus 2x squared. X times 8 is plus 8x. I'm now going to do the same thing with the minus 7. Remember, sign belongs to the number. So I'll have minus 7x cubed plus 14x minus 56. I've now distributed everything from one into the other, so I'm ready to combine like terms. I see I don't have any other degree 4 terms, so I'll say x to the 4th. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my x cubed term, so I'm going to go ahead so I can have it in standard form. I don't have any other x cubed terms, so I'm going to say minus 7x cubed. I also don't have any other x squared terms, so I'm going to pull that down. I can combine my 8x with a 14x, giving me a plus 22x, and then dropping down my constant, and I only have that one constant. So the way I wrote it, I already have it in standard form since my degrees are decreasing, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then none. So that will be my final answer. Looking at example 2, and there are only 2 examples, so this will be a fairly short video, so please do make sure you're watching both. My option is to either distribute everything from the first into the second, or to go back and distribute everything from the second back into the first, and it does not matter which way you go. If I go ahead and take everything from the first polynomial and distribute it into the second polynomial, I'll start by multiplying a 2x squared by everything in my second polynomial, giving me 12x to the 7th minus 8x squared. I can then go ahead and I'll change colors, take the negative 9x and distribute that in to my second polynomial. So negative 9 times 6 is negative 54. X times x to the 5th is x to the 6th. Negative 9 times negative 4 is plus 36x. And then finally with the minus 5, distributing that in, I get minus 5 times 6 is minus 30x to the 5th. Minus 5 times minus 4 is plus 20. And now I'm ready to combine like terms. So combining my like terms, I don't have any other x to the 7th terms, so I'm just going to go ahead and drop that 12x to the 7th down. I also, and instead of taking the x squared, I'm going to go ahead and try to go in order, so then I don't have to rewrite it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my negative 54x to the 6th. I do not have any like terms with that, so it just drops down. I also see I have an x to the 5th, but again, no like terms, so it just drops down. Next highest exponent is the squared, so I'll go ahead and take a minus 8x squared. So it looks like in this particular situation, I don't have any like terms. I'm really just changing it to standard form. The plus 36x. And then I will just simply drop down my constant term of plus 20. And now I'm in standard form. It's fairly long because I didn't have any like terms. I'm going to go ahead and circle that and say that is my final answer. So big thing is just make sure that you are all taking all terms from one polynomial and distributing it into the second. Bring these notes with you in class. There will be an assignment on this, and then we can also talk about any questions you have.